So this is all just too important, and I can't sleep until I put it out there. So more on starseeds and the challenges they face. This is still from the same woman who I was reading from her website before, Jalelia Star. It's, if you couldn't hear what I said before, it's Jelaila Star, STARR, and her website is the Nibiruan, I can't talk anymore, Nibiruan Council, NIBIRUAN Council, COUNCIL.com. And you can email her too. She gives all this stuff on here. She does sessions for people that want to talk to her in person and get some help. So this next tidbit is from The Mission Remembered, which is a book she put out, and the particular excerpt is called Starseed Challenges. And I knew there was more in here that that I couldn't find just from that one part of the book. So here is Starseed Challenges. Walking this earth are many souls from the stars. Though we walk in human form, many find it hard to operate, like a piece of technology with no operating manual. Though we find Earth to be beautiful, a beautiful place, our hearts still hearken to stars too far away. Memories and voices from the past creep into our dreams. They whisper to us of times and places, making our hearts ache with almost an unbearable longing. Such is the life of the starseed. Our purpose is sure, but the memory of how to fulfill that purpose and why seems to remain just out of reach. So we struggle, searching for the answers to questions yet unformed. We face many of the same challenges on our respective journeys. After 15 years of counseling many of my fellow star travelers, and I offer answers to some of the most common challenges we face in the hopes the information will provide comfort and help us all to get on our missions. Feel free to pass it on. Difficult childhood is this next little part. From my experience, most starborn had difficult childhoods, replete with neglect, abandonment, and in some cases abuse. Again, that would be me. There seemed to be an underlying fear or terror almost from birth, as though we knew challenges we faced and feared would not overcome them. Childhood left us emotionally scarred and served to make us feel more alone, alienated, and longing for the stars. As we grew into adulthood, we experienced moments in which we felt as though we stood on the sidelines of life, never really fitting in, feeling as though we had no right to really jump in and play the game. My heart aches each time an exhausted and bewildered starseed calls me and says, I had no idea it would be like this. Now, I'm not saying that all starseeds felt this way, but most have had moments when they wondered what in the heck they had signed up for. Raven's Evermore, in one of her videos, says, we didn't read the fine print. We didn't. For those who have had those moments and or lives take heart, there is a very good reason, but to understand it we must embrace a higher perspective, one that enables us to view our lives and our purpose as part of a universal plan. I have often spoken of a universal plan for soul evolution, the polarity integration game. Since we as, I think that's a book she wrote, because it's underlined and highlighted here, since we as creator gods and goddesses learn best through games, we have chosen to participate in a game that allows us to create all aspects of light and dark with the intent that we eventually integrate them. The game has continued through many eons and dimensions of time. Now it is drawing to its conclusion. When known this because, I think she made a typo here, we know this because we are nearing the end of a grand galactic cycle. At the same time, we have again reached the point with our technology where we can totally annihilate our world and take a good portion of the universe with us. Many of our galactic neighbors are at the same point too. You could say we and our galactic neighbors have polarized to the extreme of either light or dark and must now find our way back to the midpoint, the point of integration and compassion. Each world faces a number of life-threatening challenges. For example, some worlds are locked in a near hopeless ancient conflict with another and face extinction through war. There are also those who have gone so far in polarizing to the light or dark that they have completely eliminated polarity. They face extinction as a result of having lost the ability to procreate naturally. Do either of these sound familiar? Others have defective DNA blueprints that have produced a weakened and dying species. Regardless of the nature of their problems, these worlds have one thing in common. They cannot solve their problems, so they look to Earth for the solution. Earth, their location of a grand experiment in polarity integration, their problems are recreated as our problems, offers them the chance to go back along the timelines to a point where they can make a change. The reason they can do this is because most of the species are related to us as their DNA is encoded in ours. As I understand it, many species contributed DNA at our creation. This is made us the living library of DNA codes for this universe. DNA carries the timeline and history of the souls involved. Each world will petition for the right to send representatives to Earth. Those representatives will have carefully scripted mission plans. Each plan includes what the representative will offer, knowledge and skills, in exchange for an opportunity to find the solution needed by the folks back at home. Now here's where it gets interesting. In order to find that solution, we must have some way to remember the problem. That's where the difficult childhood comes in. We create contracts with those who will be our primary caregivers, parents, and our siblings. These souls will sometimes be related to our star family back home. Many times one or both of our star parents will contribute DNA for the physical body we use, hence making us a starseed. The Earth family, especially our parents, will act out the conflict back home through the pre-scripted family dynamic. The purpose is to provide a perfect mirror for us of what we need to work on. So it stands to reason that the greater conflict back home, the greater the greater the pain we will experience in childhood. Okay, so maybe my planet was going through that. Once we understand this, we can let go of the feeling we have been subjected to unwarranted pain. We recognize that we are not victims, abandoned, and left to fend for ourselves in a family that doesn't understand us. To the contrary, we are trained professionals chosen from among our people for a mission that will save their lives. This is why we are told that we are the hope of the universe. Jira mentioned something about we are the royal bloodlines. I've heard other people say that indigos and starseeds come in here acting like royalty and expect everybody else to attend to them as such. I certainly did when I was a child, even though I was surrounded by horrible people. Well, I shouldn't say all of them. My grandmother was wonderful. With the stakes so high, every shocking event, every painful moment was scripted by us to help us in our quest. We left no stone unturned in creating opportunities to be successful. It is my experience that once a starseed understands the bigger plan, they are able to let go, feeling victimized, and their mission begins to unfold rather quickly. I hope that those of you reading this will find that to be the case. If so, my goal has been accomplished. So, that's that for that particular excerpt. I'll be reading more, and I hope that helps a lot of you. I love you. Namaste.